Today we're taking a look at the Santa Cruz Chameleon Frame. This is the new 2018 Chameleon from Santa Cruz, set up to run 120 millimeter travel fork up front, and then the ability to run either 27.5 plus tires or 29ers. So what we're going to do today is take a look at some of the features about this bike, then we're going to go ahead and weigh it. That way you know what it's all about. Now when taking a look at the frame here, it's very clear that this is a super high quality frame. You can see it just through all of the welds on the frame, the additional gusset for the seat tube here, and then the head tube is really where it gets nice. So if we take a look at this head tube here, the welds are all finished really nicely, but take a look inside of the head tube. So what's kind of neat and why this matters is inside the head tube you can see the bearing races are actually machined. So these are machined out really smooth and finished well. But the other thing you're not going to be able to see in there is any burn through. The aluminum looks really well welded. It looks like it was put together in a really fine fashion. And the gauge of all of this aluminum is actually quite thick. Now the paint on the bike, that's also something that is quite nice. I like some of the finishing. I really appreciate kind of the way that they stiffened up the chainstays here with that actual extra brace that helps allow that yoke to go around the tire to be so super thin and allow the really wide tires without introducing additional flex. Now the down tube size on the bike, this is actually pretty good size. You do have water bottle mounts both on the top as well as on the bottom. And then the cable routing, while most of the cable routing on the bike is external, it's done in a really nice fashion. So what I mean by that is the cable routing is actually done underneath the top tube, down to the rear derailleur, and then under the chainstay to the brake. So that means cable routing on this bike is going to be insanely easy to do, but it keeps a nice clean aesthetic to the frame. Now the frame will come with a quick release clamp up top. You'll see it's a 31.6 seat tube, and then you're going to have 1.5 inch lower, 1.125 inch upper on this tapered head tube. One of the other neat things about this bike is going to be in the way that it actually carries the rear wheel. So if we take a look at these dropouts here, the dropout itself, this is actually a separate unit from the frame. So it's bolted on with these two bolts, and it's got a sliding function to it, so you can actually adjust the position of the rear wheel a little bit. So the dropouts here, these are going to come in 4 different varieties. What we're looking at here is the 27.5 inch plus size tire with a derailleur in Boost 148. They're then going to have a 27.5 plus tire version, but in 142 spacing, and the 142 spacing is actually going to be single speed only. And then you're going to have a Boost 148 geared for 29, as well as a 142 spacing 29er without the derailleur hanger. And that allows you to be able to run pretty much any wheel size, you know, a 142 or a 148 in single speed, because you could of course always take that derailleur off and just leave the hanger here. And it allows a sliding dropout using the mechanism that's inside. So that's pretty neat. So you can have a couple of different wheel sets, just buy some extra dropouts and replace them as needed. Other features that I like about this frame: threaded bottom bracket, always a good thing. It is still front derailleur compatible, or you could use this for a chain guide. You've got this great rubber covering for the chainstay to help it keep from getting messed up. And then of course it is through axle, using a DT Swiss standard through axle here. The final feature that I like about this frame is that it's a internally routed dropper post. So no longer do you have to have dropper post cables hanging around. The dropper post will go right in through the seat post, and then right here you're actually going to have a little loop that comes out from the seat tube into the down tube. And that's going to be your dropper cable all the way to the head tube here, where it's going to come out again. Now that's a look at the features of this Santa Cruz Chameleon. Let's go ahead and grab a scale and we'll see exactly what it weighs. So this frame placed on our scale here is going to come in at 2,470 grams. Well, thanks for watching this video on the Santa Cruz Chameleon frame set. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and of course leave a comment down below with exactly what you think.